Oh my gosh. Adjusting to motherhood is just, I don't even know where to start. Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. My name is Imari for those of you who do not know. It's been over a year since I posted my last video, and that's due to me being pregnant, having a baby, dealing with postpartum, and I just wanted to get on here and tell you guys everything, how everything went before, just getting back on the camera and just like, I have a baby with me. I wanted to talk about how I found out I was pregnant, my pregnancy journey, like go through each trimester, and then also where I am now with being a new mom and just recovering from delivery and how I feel about everything. How did I find out I was pregnant? So I found out I was pregnant on Thursday, December 18th, 2023. Prior to that, I had a feeling though, because I kept having like period symptoms, but my period did not come. And then also I had like cold, flu-like symptoms as well, and I don't really get sick like that. I rarely get sick, so that kind of caught me off guard. I brought it to my partner's attention, and he was telling me, he was like, girl, your period's gonna come, it's gonna come, just give it a couple days, it's gonna come. And I was just thinking to myself, literally, I track my period, it's not coming, and I feel like I'm pregnant. So he ended up going to the store getting me a pregnancy test. I took the pregnancy test before we both had to go to work. Our initial reaction to the positive test was laughter, but not gonna lie, we was sick the whole day after finding out that I was pregnant. Like sick as in like disbelief. Like we was happy, but like we were like in disbelief of me being pregnant. Like we did not think, well, he did not think that I was pregnant, and I knew that I was pregnant, but I was so shocked. After finding out that I was pregnant, I told my family. They were all excited. Jalen told his family. His family was excited. His mom was excited. He surprised his mom with the bib, saying that she was going to be a grandma or whatever. And it was right before Christmas, so yeah, she literally cried tears of joy. I was on FaceTime whenever he ended up telling her. First trimester. So my first trimester, it's like right after I found out I was pregnant, that's when things started to get like real. Like I was experiencing nausea, I had cramping, literally the colors of my nipples started to change. I know that's TMI, but it's real. That's what's real. That's what really happened. I took notes too, by the way. I had this like really bad metallic taste in my mouth, and I think it was due to me having like food aversions. I am a sweets girl. Like I love sweets, and yeah, I couldn't eat sweets anymore. Like every time I would eat sweets, I would have like this weird nasty taste in my mouth. Like it was crazy. I didn't really experience morning sickness. I would call it like night evening sickness. Like that's when I started to feel like, ugh, I don't know, it's like a feeling that you cannot describe. I had cramping, and then I was having like really bad headaches. I was having headaches every day, and I wasn't taking medicine for the headaches. I would always use an ice pack because I was just scared. Being pregnant, it causes you to have really bad anxiety about every little thing. Like I was scared to take medicine because I was, especially if you're a first-time mom, I was scared to take medicine because I thought it was going to affect the baby in some type of way. But they say you can take Tylenol. They kept telling me, take Tylenol, drink water, take Tylenol, drink water. I was drinking water, but I was not taking that Tylenol because I don't know, you just hear so much stuff from TikTok and other people. So yeah, I did not take medicine. The ice packs, they did work though, for the most part. But yeah, I was having headaches every day. It was crazy. That's how my first trimester went. It was very crazy. Second trimester was very much a breeze. that's when I felt like, that's when I had like that pregnancy glow. I felt pretty, my bump starting to show. I found out I was having a boy, so I got to go through that, like picking out his name. Oh, let me tell y'all, so I kept seeing the name Josiah everywhere. I was working at a bank at the time, and it was a customer that came in that I rarely even saw. He was giving me a hard time. His name was Josiah. I was like, sir, can I see your ID? He was like, no, blah, blah, blah. Never seen him a day in my life. And he was acting weird about me seeing his ID. Get his ID. His name is Josiah. And I was like, wow, because prior to that, I had watched a sermon. The pastor, he was talking about his son. His son name was Josiah. And then I was watching another sermon, a different pastor, and he was actually talking about the character Josiah in the Bible. And then on TikTok, like, I kept seeing it everywhere. So, and I also prayed about it because I didn't want to just name him anything. I wanted him to have a meaningful name. And if you ever go read up on Josiah in the Bible, he was a king, and I'm not gonna go into depth, but it's a meaningful name, and I really like the name, and I felt like God wanted me to name him that. Second trimester, I still did experience headaches, but I was, at that point, I was just used to that. I did have bloody boogers, and sometimes I did have a bloody nose. And I asked my doctor about that, and she said it was due to the increase of blood that was in my body or whatever, so that was normal. I did experience brain fog, and that really had me. I feel like I'm still like experiencing it now, even after giving birth. But you know, working at a bank, you have to count all day, you have to add, you have to subtract. And y'all, it was one day, the manager, she wanted me to come count the vault with her, and she was like, how many coins in there? So quarters, I think they're, I don't work at the bank anymore, but if I can remember, they come in box of 500, and it was 2 boxes of coins in there. And she was like, how many coins is that? And I was just like, and she was like, are you for real? I was like, yes, I don't know. It's 1,000. And I don't know, I feel so, I don't know, being pregnant, you just feel so, I don't know what happens up here, but something happens. Brain fog, bloody noses, extreme headaches, and I did have round ligament pains. The third trimester. So the third trimester is when I wanted everything to be over, literally. It was worse. I was getting up multiple times throughout the night to go pee. I wasn't getting any comfortable sleep. I wasn't even getting any sleep. I feel like I sleep better with him being out than him being in. Because they always say, just wait until you give birth. You don't know nothing about having no sleep. I sleep better now that he's out. Or even in the beginning when he was going through the newborn phase, I got me some sleep. When I was pregnant, I was not getting sleep. Another thing, the acid reflux was insane. But they do say when you have acid reflux or heartburn, your baby comes out with a head full of hair. And Josiah, he came out with a head full of hair. So it was worth it, I guess. It was worth it in the end. My delivery didn't really go as I planned it to go. I ended up having to get an emergency C-section because his heart rate was dropping every time I was contracting. But I did get Pitocin too, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But now looking back on it, I wish I would have never got Pitocin. I wish I would have asked them, is there another way to kind of like induce my labor? I ended up giving birth 39 weeks due to me leaking amniotic fluid. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I was leaking fluid, and I went to the doctor, and it was like, yeah, you're leaking. We have to kind of induce you or whatever. So they gave me the Pitocin. The Pitocin caused me to contract faster. The contractions caused his heart rate to drop, and then I ended up having to get an emergency C-section. But that's the thing about giving birth, you never know what's going to happen. So if you're pregnant, just be prepared. You might end up having a C-section, kind of like how I did. I'm not wishing it on you, but you never know, it could happen. It was kind of bittersweet because I didn't want to get a C-section, but I was happy to meet my son, of course. So yeah, recovering from a C-section is from 6 to 8 weeks. It's really is 12 weeks. I didn't really start feeling like myself until I reached the 12-week mark or whatever, and that's when I was able to, you know, work out and stuff like that, like at home and stuff. Yeah, if you are pregnant, I put in my notes, bring extra stuff just in case you do have a C-section. Y'all, I cut my hair into a bob too, by the way, and I'm trying to get used to it. I'm seeing myself in the viewfinder and I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I'm feeling now. I am a breastfeeding mom, so they didn't tell me about cluster feeding. I didn't know about cluster feeding until I started breastfeeding. And basically, breastfed babies, they eat on demand, and it's not really like a set schedule. Like if you're doing formula, your baby eats every 2 hours, but breastfed babies, they kind of eat whenever. Now looking back, like, you kind of take for granted the fact that you could just do stuff on demand. Like if I wanted to take a shower, I could just go take a shower. I don't have to plan to take a shower. I don't have to plan to eat. I don't have to plan to do my hair. I don't have to plan to, you know, just do little leave if I want to leave. But I don't want to just make it sound like it's all bad, but having a baby with the right person is very important, because you're going to need help. And I applaud all the single moms out there, all the stay-at-home moms, even the people that are married and their partner isn't very much of help. I applaud you and I'm proud of you, and you are so strong. People that are going through that stuff kind of get overlooked, and now that I'm not in that situation, but I feel for people, you know, that are experiencing that. It's very hard, you know, having a baby. Even with help is hard, so I can only imagine not having much help. Motherhood is amazing. Like, I don't know what I would do without my baby. I am literally so obsessed with him. I am in love with him. Like, I just look like he makes me happy. If I'm feeling sad, I look at a picture of him and I automatically get out of my sadness. Like, it's crazy. Motherhood is amazing. Like, he's on the cover of my screen right now. He literally just melts my heart. Recommendations: being pregnant, make sure you advocate for yourself, especially African American women, because we tend to get looked over. Take everything seriously. When I was in my 3rd trimester, I did experience a loss of appetite. I brought it to my doctor's attention, and she was like, oh, it's because the baby is growing and your stomach and you don't have any room. Just make sure you're eating nuts and try to get some protein. And I was just thinking, like, it's really not me to not have an appetite. And come to find out, my baby ended up having low carnitine levels. It was like a red flag in his newborn screening or whatever. Come to find out, I had low carnitine levels. Luckily, he doesn't have the carnitine uptake deficiency, which is him having to take a supplement for the rest of his life because it's not like curable. Luckily, he did not have that, but I feel like he could have had normal carnitine levels if they would have took my symptom of me having a low appetite seriously, because that's one of the symptoms in newborns. If they would have ran my blood, they would have saw that. Could have ate a better diet, like red meat. He's crying. You guys are advocating for yourself. That's all I can say about that. Take care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually. Do what you have to do. Get rid of drama. Anybody that's stressing you out, don't be afraid or feel bad for blocking, deleting. Anything you have to do to get those people out of your life, do not feel bad for that, because like what's her name, Sky Jackson, bullying people that are pregnant is not okay, because we already are dealing with a lot of anxiety internally due to being pregnant. Take your vitamins, cherish the moment of being pregnant, take pictures and videos of your belly, make sure you're eating a healthy, balanced diet. Apparently I wasn't, that's why I was having low carnitine levels. Make sure you take care of yourself. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I am going to get Josiah so you guys can see him. He's so precious and so sweet.
Hey. Say nice to meet you all. Ooh, look at you about to roll over. You can show him you can roll over. You not gonna do it?
God is so good.